Imagine a time when the landscape of power was far from settled, when a king's word might not extend much further than his own castle walls. How did ambitious monarchs ever hope to unite diverse lands under a single, strong crown in such a fragmented world? Yes, absolutely. Feudal lords not only could, but frequently did, challenge centralized authority throughout much of medieval European history. This constant tension between powerful local lords and the gradual rise of royal power was a defining characteristic of the era, shaping the very foundations of nation-states. The fundamental reason for this lies in the very structure of the feudal system itself. Medieval kings initially granted vast tracts of land, known as fiefs, to powerful nobles in exchange for loyalty and military service. While these lords were technically vassals of the king, they often operated with significant autonomy within their own domains. They built formidable castles, raised their own armies, collected taxes, and administered justice, essentially acting as mini-sovereigns. This decentralized power structure meant that a king's authority often diminished significantly beyond his own personal landholdings. Furthermore, the slow pace of communication and travel made it incredibly difficult for a distant monarch to exert consistent control over rebellious or independent-minded lords. To overcome these inherent challenges, early monarchs employed various strategies. They sought to expand their own personal landholdings through conquest and inheritance, forge strategic marriage alliances with other powerful families, and slowly develop more centralized legal and administrative systems. Kings also began to create professional standing armies and recruit loyal bureaucrats from outside the traditional nobility. Conversely, feudal lords frequently resisted these efforts by forming powerful alliances among themselves, refusing to provide military service or taxes, or even launching open rebellions. They often leveraged periods of royal weakness, such as a child king or a disputed succession, to assert their independence or gain further concessions. A prime example of this dynamic is the signing of the Magna Carta in 1215, where English barons collectively forced King John to acknowledge limits on his royal power, a landmark moment in constitutional history. Another fascinating aspect is how the development of sophisticated siege warfare gradually shifted the balance. As castles became harder to take without massive resources, kings with larger coffers and better logistics gained an advantage. The persistent struggle between central and local power also led to the emergence of early parliamentary bodies, which monarchs often convened to gain support and resources from the very same nobility they sought to control. Ultimately, the ability of feudal lords to challenge centralized authority was a major driver of political evolution in medieval Europe. This centuries-long power struggle laid the groundwork for the modern state, as monarchs gradually consolidated power by building stronger institutions and finding ways to undermine the independent power of the nobility. Understanding this delicate balance helps us appreciate the complex origins of governance and the enduring tension between local interests and national unity.